Morning, Al.
Morning.
I'll just chuck it down.
It's almost afternoon because you've been asleep for so long.
Been resting.
After a late night testing, the guys are heading back to Atlanta Dragway via a fine breakfast establishment.
Drive through a Hungry Jack's on the wrong side. Kind of odd. We made it work.
Breakfast of champions, eh?
Yeah, man. Which is actually not too bad, all things considered. It's a new day. We've just arrived at the track. We've set up our little camp. We don't know if we're actually going to get a pass in today yet, but we are going to go down and see the NHRA tech guys. Hopefully they'll have a look at the car, give it a quick check over, and then we get a chassis certification. This car is already certified in Australia, so we're hoping that they take that into consideration when they look at the car. Yeah, there's nothing really that's going to be a problem as far as we're aware. We were just wandering the pits and we saw some other international competitors, so that's cool to see those guys out as well. So yeah, we'll just jump in, we'll head down to CERT and have a chat to the guys down there. There's a pretty big field of cars today compared to last night. There's a lot more dragster style cars as opposed to street, like car-based drag cars, I guess, for want of a better term. Also tons and tons of big trucks in the States. We really don't get many of those Rams. We're starting to see them a little bit now, but just everything's bigger. Like even like amateur level guys have got 3-wheel transporters and stuff. Like in Australia, that's probably a $60,000 transporter, whereas in the States, I think they're probably 25 to 30, which is still a big investment, but obviously a lot cheaper compared to Australian pricing. And same with those trucks. They're just so much cheaper and more accessible over here.
High on the officials list is safety. The thickness of the roll cage material is checked using an ultrasonic tester. The cage was built to IHRA standards in Australia, which is mostly equivalent to the NHRA standards that apply in the USA. Another good reason to do it once and do it right the first time is that Home Depot is many things, but it's not a roll cage shop, and the guys won't have much luck trying to fix this cage on the road. But it's signed off and they're good to go.
Chassis cert was quite simple. The guy actually checked out all the cage. So they've measured the cage, the overall diameter of the tube, and then they also had an ultrasonic tester to test the thickness of the tube. There was no problems at all. The guy didn't even say anything, so didn't even have questions, and we're through. So very happy with the outcome, and yeah, almost a little bit surprised how simple and easy that was. So very happy, and we'll possibly even get a test pass in the Savo, so we'll see how we go.
The best thing this morning's been the Estonian guys over there with their what looks like a Cortina, but it's a 2-door with a twin turbo 400 cube Windsor in it. Had a bit of a chat to them. They're having a bit of an adventure like us, so it's pretty cool to see.
Hello from Estonia.
It's cool. You know it.
I think Benny's in love also.
Yeah, it's awesome as. I just love that it looks like an Australian Cortina, but it's joined to what looks like an RX-2. Such cool body styling, and then these guys were actually saying they've made their own wide body out of all steel. So pretty awesome thing to just go and knock that out in your shed. They were saying though, unfortunately, that making that wide body puts them into unlimited class, which is basically like full pro mod cars and space frame chassis cars. But I think these guys have got the same goal as us, just come to finish the event and just put on the best show possible. So should be cool to see it run. This thing's badass.
Thank you.
One of the highlights of Dragweek is the variety of cars it attracts, like this one, Dirty 30, which first came to Dragweek a few years back and now keeps coming back and running quicker times every single year.
We're just working out why the horn's not working. It was a slight oversight on my part. We do need a horn functioning for tech tomorrow. So I'm just going to rip the steering wheel off. In the background you'll probably notice the Aussies just kicking it back, and got a barbie going now, so looks like our catering's sorted for the week. Unfortunately, these fellas have they're out of the race. Their car's still locked in a container on the dock, so they've just decided to make it a boys road trip by the looks of it and just have a party and just chill out with us. So bit of a win, hang out with some more Aussies, do some cool stuff, have catering on site. So bit of a win for everyone. So I'm just going to yank this off and we'll continue working out the horn. Now we're good. So we worked out that the pin was not quite contacting the right place on the boss kit. So we've made some adjustments with our precision adjusting sticks. Now we're good to go. The Aussie catering crew, or the ACC as they're now affectionately known, just hooked us up with lunch. So we've all had a bit of a feed and a rest. A couple of lemon squashes. So we're going to go and check out some racing. I've just spoken to an official as well. Hopefully we're going to get a run the Savo. So I've just got to go and pay for the race. So just want to lock that in and then hopefully get a bit of testing in the Savo. They didn't quite pan out the way we'd hoped. We didn't get a run on the track. They've actually had a few problems with timing today, so the actual race meet is still going. They were planning on putting testing on this afternoon. So we've hung around all day in hopes of getting a test. That hasn't happened. They're still running juniors now. So we're going to pack up, get a bit of rest, and get ready for tomorrow. There's a few little things we've got to do. We've got to go back up to Walmart to get some supplies.
You go.
I wonder if I could put that inside the trailer. What the hell, bro? And we also need to drive about 20 miles each way to get to E85, so we got to jump on the highway. We might try and borrow a car to do that, so we'll jump on the highway and do a fuel run. So we'll pack up and get on the road, and then we'll be back here bright and early tomorrow.
I reckon we're going to go jump in the pool at the motel and then go meet up with the boys from ACC Catering.
I've got your beer.
I'm just going to tuck my leg in.
Bro! What's up? Booties.
Keen, Benny?
Always keen, dude.
Yeah?
I think it's probably an hour and a half before the sun comes up.
Do not book a hotel near a Dragweek venue and expect to sleep in.
Is the road?
Looks like there's a bit of a lineup, Benny.
Bit of a lineup. Looks like there's a few people might have got the same idea we had. Hopefully that's not too bad of a thing, but she'll be right.
Look what the bloody cat's dragged in here, eh?
The ever-loving and friendly Dale. Yeah. At least he's consistent.
A massive variety of cars have shown up early to beat the queues and get entered. The cars need to be signed off, paperwork completed, and then testing can begin. It's the last shakedown many of these cars will get before their times are officially recorded for the week.
pretty good progress in the line. There's at least 100 cars already inside, so I think we're lining up for another line, but unfortunately that's the way it is with these kind of events where you've got 400 cars. There's just no other way to do it. Doesn't look good, they're pushing it already. It's not a good sign.
Another warm day.
Bloody oath.
Hey, it's warm in paradise, isn't it?
I don't know if you call
Good
it
to meet you,
paradise.
Tech, I tell ya. It's
You done already?
we're done. I'm just emptied the boot and gonna check tyre pressures, and the track doesn't open till 12, but probably gonna head back to the hotel and chill out for a couple of hours. But that would be absolutely record time, because having done this a few times, there will be cars queued up in that sun for 8 to 10 hours today, and we're done.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
Got a 10 mil spanner for a Turbo Yoda and a socket as well.
Couple of spares.
Yeah,
Well,
you never have enough.
We'll wait till he's here and you can hand him over to him.
All right, man, that sounds good.
He's having a bit of a sleep in at the moment.
I'm lazy. Yes.
After a good part of the morning spent moving along a line, race numbers are finally acquired and applied, and Benny bumps into some familiar faces.
Is it weird that I want one of those in like a mini truck or something? No, this is awesome.
We've got a spare one here.
Have you weighed the car?
32 something.
This little thing is 3,200?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got all safety equipment.
It's got a full cage.
Beer cans in there or something?
It's still got electric windows, dude.
Oh, wow. Oh, no, I know what it is. It's all the washers. Spacers. That's where the weight's got your heat vent?
One off.
Yeah.
We've also got a Home Depot heat shield we knocked up for the turbo.
Nice. Get a garden sprayer. Have your...
Well, nice.
That's your passenger. And just run the hose up here and just...
Well, the radiator doesn't get hot at all. 180 all the time with the rear wall. It's only the actual under bonnet temps, like it just melts stuff. So it melted this whole coil cover, we cut the side off it.
Look at the size of the intake ports on this thing.
It's badass.
Yeah.
So that's an off-the-shelf plenum in Australia, you can just buy those.
Yeah.
And same with the exhaust manifold.
Does the runner extend into it and have any kind of a radius on it?
It's radiused in the base plate because it's actually a billet base plate welded to that plenum.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a radius base plate.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually protrude, but yeah, it's a nice sort of radius edge on it.
This thing's so cool.
That's way cool.
Just got to go over and see some guys and grab a bag of stuff, and then we're pretty much good to hit the track. Vibrations in that run. Not exactly sure that was, but it felt pretty quick. Thanks, mate. Got 972 at 142, it's not a bad run. 60 foot's not bad, 154. Still had a little push, so we might have to work on that. It's definitely got a 1.4 in it. We just got to sort of tweak that. We'll go back to setting 4 for the next run, just to see if we can better that. It might be a little bit of a numbers game with this track by the look, so we'll do another pass and see how we go.
How'd you go, Benny? Looks like you smashed first limiter for a little while there, eh?
Yeah, that runner hung the limiter a little bit, but still got a 154.60, so it's not bad. 6.2 to the 8, so it's a bit slow in that first quarter. But yeah, it's not bad. I'm not disappointed with it. It's just learning. So there's plenty of track time today, so we'll be able to get out there and get some more runs in. I have made one adjustment to the launch control limiter, and I've also taken the air filter off for this run. We forgot to take the filter off for the first pass. So between not hitting the limiter, not pushing through the brake, and having the air filter off, we should pick up 2 or 3 mile an hour minimum. So
you're still not on 85% ethanol, then, are you?
Yeah, we're not on E85 yet either. So we're only around 65% currently. So hopefully, when we do a few more passes, we'll be able to put some more E85 into it. That should bring the ethanol content up a little bit, hopefully. So the second we get up to 70%, the tune bumps up another scaling factor. So as soon as we get into that next map, it'll be probably another 2 or 3 mile an hour in that as well. So
sweet.
Fingers crossed.
Let's do it.
Let's go for another run.
Aren't you meant to have corks hanging from that hat? Beers hanging out.
It hasn't gotten any worse, so I'm not really too worried about it. We'll just run it as it is for now. We'll probably change up and run a different set of tyres later. We do have the other spares there if the problem persists. So we'll look at that later if it's still a problem. But that felt like a pretty good pass. Shifted a little early on that one. 60 felt a bit sharper, so we'll see how we go with the time slip. Thank you, sir. It's gone slower then. Yeah, it's just heat soak, I think. So we're going to go back to the last power run, but it's just so hot today. We've gone to 9.9 at 141, 164.60, so it's 110 slower on the 60 for that run. We might give the car a bit of a rest because it's a very hot day, so we'll park it up and see how we go. But yeah, it's very hot today. Just done 2 passes back to back, just for a bit of thermal testing, and we've worked out the car doesn't love that. So we're going to just give it a bit of a rest for a while, have some lunch. The second pass was 1/10 slower, even though we went made a few changes. So we're going to go back to the original settings that I run on the first pass today, and we're going to let it cool down for a bit before going and making another pass after lunch. The ACC are knocking out some sausage sangers, and I think they got some steak again, so should be a good lunch, and then get back onto the track. So we're going to quickly duck over to the staging lanes and park up there, where we can, we'll probably just push the car the whole length of the staging lane this time, try and keep the engine temp and under bonnet temps right down, and then start at the last second and give it a hit then. So it's definitely down on power because of heat, so we're going to try and keep it as cool as possible and then just shoot it down the track. We've just sent the boys to go and grab us some E85 as well, so we're going to try and top the tank off. Mate, we've already had lunch, all right? So we're just going to try and top off the tank again just to boost up the E85 or boost up the ethanol content. And that should, if we can just creep into the 70s on ethanol content, that means we'll get another 10% of our overall timing and fuel map. So hopefully we can make a little bit more power as well as running the car cooler. So we'll have to play it by ear, but we'll see how we go.
Need a hand, Phil? You good?
Yeah, it seems old Georgia doesn't like us too much. The second time now we've been within 3 or 4 cars at the starting line and the skies have just opened out of nowhere. We're hoping that we're just going to catch the edge of it because we are kind of right on the edge of this storm. And we have seen these guys dry the tracks before, so if the rain's not super crazy, they will probably dry it again and we'll get another pass to Savo, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how bad it is. It's just coming down pretty hard now, so fingers crossed, but I'm not that surprised if it'll just keep raining on in. So we've just been given the all clear, the truck's clear again, so we're going to go out and make another run. So the air temp's actually dropped 13 degrees. We measured it in here, the same point before the rain and after the rain. The whole air temp's dropped 10 degrees at least, so should be a good result. Fingers crossed.
Carefree, not a damn thing in this world could ever scare me. We never had it all, but we survived through the twists and the turns. The money and the girls was my only concern. Was born in the third, raised in the first. I know it firsthand. I know about the struggle.
That pass in, the car felt really good. We've still got that vibration there. We'll have a little look at that when we get back to the pits. We're going to take the wheels off and change back to street tyres most likely for the commute, so we'll have a bit of an inspection there. We'll just run up to the timing box now and see how we did. Helmet off because it's hot as hell. Thank you, sir. 9.9 at 143, 1.7, so we clipped the light. So after all that, 60 foot's a bit average. So I'd say I'll probably bump the light again. So we'll have to work on the staging technique a little bit, but we'll tinker around with it a bit and go from there. Still way slower than it has been at home, so we're just going to have a look at what ethanol content it changes to the next scaling point. Because if we're like 2 or 3% off, we're probably just going to rechange the scaling and send it. Don't want to break it before the first day, but we also don't want to be a whole second off the time either.
It's been tuned to be safe, and when the ethanol content drops, obviously the power goes away. So that's the thing. So we're trying to get the ethanol content up because we mixed it with 93, which we probably shouldn't have. At the time it seemed like a good idea, but we haven't actually driven it very far, and you don't use much fuel just driving the trucks to our motels like a kilometre away, so it's nothing. So we've been trying to top it up, but it's just not getting there. It's only at 65%. So I think we might just pump it out and put that into a drum and use that for transit, and put some fresh stuff in and try and get that ethanol content up so the car goes properly. Otherwise the car's great, no leaks, no problems, no nothing. It's good. Benny's good, can drive, everything's good. So I spent the afternoon helping one of the Aussie guys out, whose name's Rob, but that's about all I know about him. But he needed some wiring done, so I volunteered and I crawled underneath his Malibu, which is called Malibu Stacy. It's a, I don't know, 1983 or something Chevy Malibu wagon with a big block in it.
That's our testing day run and done. Didn't quite go 100% to plan. Our ethanol content's a little bit lower than we would have liked. So we've Played around with the fuel maps a little bit late in the afternoon, and I haven't got a pass since that. I also think I wasn't actually holding enough revs at the line, so that's why the 60 foot's so lazy. So still hoping to just get one hit in first thing in the morning, and if we're good, we're just gonna hit the road and go. So car's still going, still in one piece, still runs great, trailer's packed, good crew. So we're gonna pack up and head for the hills tonight, get a bit of a feed and get an early night, and then come back in the morning and do it all over again.
You had a bit of a photo session on the track, eh?
Yeah, we just had a little bit of a photo session with Jacob from Hot Rod Magazine. So tonight we're just going to head out of here and probably have pizzas and chill by the pool. I think it's very hot and humid, so we'll just go and hang by the pool for a bit and then have an early night.
Sweet as.
It's going to be sick. See you later.